Senator Hawley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Can we just come back to this bounty issue, Mr. Schroeder, Mr. Klein? Because I have to say I didn't understand your answers. I thought you said to the chairman earlier that you did say in your opening statement that there was a lot of misinformation about this out there, Mr. Schroeder, and I thought you said, Mr. Klein, that you don't charge bounties. So can we just clear this up once and for all? We're all here, we're all under oath. So, Mr. Schroeder, let's start with you. Do you charge a bounty? Do you pay employees bounties on carry-on bags to identify them?
Well,
That's a yes or no.
I wouldn't characterize it as a bounty.
Do you charge them, do you pay your employees a fee? Do you incentivize them to go pick out bags from people getting on planes and kick them off the flight? Just yes or no?
We charge them an incentive.
Okay, that's a yes. Mr. Klein?
We do not, Senator Hawley.
You don't pay your employees to do that?
We have previously, sir, but we actually suspended that on September 30th of this year. And now in order to be able to treat all of our guests fairly and equitably, we've actually just put more staff and supervisors out at the gate area. And they're the ones that are still making sure that everyone's treated fairly and equitably, which is the point behind these kinds of programs. But we have removed that program as of September 30th.
Oh, interesting. So let's come back to you, though, Mr. Schroeder. So how much have you paid your gate agents to enforce your carry-on bag policy, to pick people out of the line like the chairman's video showed? I mean, you guys do appreciate that flying on your airlines is a disaster, don't you? I'm slightly amazed by the general attitude of all of you here. Flying on your airlines is horrible. It's a terrible experience. I mean, I say this as a father of 3 young children, but I can't tell you, nobody enjoys flying on your airlines. It's a disaster. You charge people fees that they know nothing about. You harass them to death. I'll never forget, Mr. Johnson, during COVID when an attendant on your airline threatened my wife because our then 5-year-old son, his mask had slipped. This is back when we all had to wear those ridiculous masks. His mask had slipped below his nose. This flight attendant came up to my wife and said if she didn't keep that mask over his nose at all points on this 4-hour flight, she would personally see that my wife was banned from flying. This has happened over and over to families. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And your attitude here today seems to be, well, devil may care. There's nothing we can do about it. Well, I think we are going to do something about it. So how much have you paid people to pull out customers who are in line with a bag that's 2 centimeters too big, Mr. Schroeder?
Well, we recognize this is a hard job, and so therefore we incentivize them to do that.
How much?
It's $10 per bag.
Wow. $10 per bag. And I think, Mr. Klein, you and Mr. Schroeder, your airlines cumulatively have spent $26 million paying gate agents between 2022 and 2023 to catch passengers whose bags are a little bit too big. $26 million. I mean, if people want to know why it's such a terrible experience to fly, this is news for them today. Your airlines are paying millions of dollars to your employees to harass people who've already paid. They're there in line because they've already paid. It's unbelievable. By the way, let me just ask you this while I have you here. Why is it that you charge different people different fees for carry-on bags? Why is that, Mr. Klein? Why isn't it just a flat fee? Why is it that I might get charged one fee, but my wife might get charged a different fee? Why is that?
So overall, our job is to generate the most revenue we can so we can be profitable as an airline. If we're not profitable well, actually we have costs, and there's costs out there, and we have to make sure that we're above the cost line in order to make sure that we can run a profitable entity.
Yeah, I got it. No, I got it. I got it. And money's the answer. So last year, your carry-on bag fees ranged between $15 and $99. That's extraordinary. One person might pay 15, somebody else might pay 99. How do you determine it? Is it based on personal characteristics? You charge women more?
It's never based on personal characteristics.
You charge minors more?
We do not, sir.
What, just people who are suckers? I mean, how do you do it?
Well, there is a cost to carry any kind of bag.
Yeah, but why do you charge some people more? I understand the cost, and you made clear money's your bottom line. I get that, but why is it that you're charging some people what, triple, quadruple the amount?
Well, the length of the flight should matter in this as well. So
yeah, but that's not the data. The data shows is we're talking about the same people on the same flight might get charged radically different prices for a one carry-on bag. You do the same thing for check bags. Why is that?
Right. So just for the record, the $99 charge has been reduced to $79 as a
That's a lot
maximum.
better.
And what ends up happening here is we want to make sure that we can get the best price to the best people at the right time.
The best people? Who would they be?
Sorry, let me rephrase. The right price.
Are those the people who, what? I mean, no, explain it to me. I'm interested. Who are the best people?
Well, that was the misstatement, sir. What we're trying to do is get the right price at the right time. And what that also means is making sure that if someone's on a flight that's now filling up, and we have a lot of, as we talked about, unbundled pricing.
And they get screwed? So like if you have the misfortune of having to book your flight at the end because maybe something's been canceled, then you're going to get screwed? Is that what you're telling me? You're not one of the best people.
Are you referencing just fares
I'm just responding to your testimony. I'm listening to you, and you just said as a flight's filling up, you're going to get charged more.
Not always. Sometimes you'll get charged less.
Exactly. Right. Sometimes. Right. But you'll never know, right? That's the beauty of it. It's like Russian roulette. Flying on the airline is,
I would disagree,
you have no idea in the world.
I would disagree.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a fiery Senate hearing where Senator Josh Hawley calls out airline executives for their questionable practices. From hidden fees to harassing passengers, this video is packed with revelations that might just change the way you see air travel. If you're ready for the truth about what's going on behind the scenes, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's get into it. Let's start with Senator Hawley's big opener. He questioned airline execs about something called bounties paid to employees. Basically, gate agents were being incentivized to spot passengers with oversized carry-on bags and kick them off flights. One airline admitted to paying agents $10 per bag, $10 just to make your travel experience even worse. But here's the kicker. One exec claimed they stopped the program in September 2023. Suspicious timing, don't you think? Next, Hawley exposed a shocking number: $26 million. That's how much airlines spent between 2022 and 2023 on these so-called bounty programs. Imagine, millions of dollars just to hassle passengers at the gate. And you wonder why flying feels like a nightmare. What do you think about this? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these policies. And hey, if you're enjoying this breakdown so far, make sure you hit that like button to help more people see this video. Let's talk about those ridiculous baggage fees. Hawley grilled the execs on why carry-on fees range from $15 to $99 for the exact same flight. Their excuse? Dynamic pricing. They claim it's about maximizing revenue, but come on, does it really need to feel like a lottery every time you book? And here's the most eyebrow-raising part. Hawley called them out for requiring personal info, like age, gender, and location, before even showing seat prices. The airlines denied using this data to set prices, but do we really believe that? Hawley didn't hold back on personal stories either. He shared how his family was harassed on a flight during COVID because his 5-year-old son's mask slipped below his nose. Imagine being threatened with a flying ban over something like that. This hearing wasn't just about numbers, it was about the human cost of these practices. Hawley made it clear. People are fed up with the way airlines treat them. So, what do you think? Are these airlines out of control? Should we be pushing for stricter regulations to protect passengers? Let me know in the comments.